today. It's lovely to have you here.
Thank you for calling me, and it was actually very nice that you called me for this, and I'm really excited to have this.
I'm glad to be here today with Poulomi Bhaduri, who is the head of HR Equally. Poulomi oversees people and culture for one of the world's largest GCC networks. Her work in leadership development, hybrid work, and global talent management offers deep insight into Karnataka's position as a professional services hub. Thank you for taking time out. Okay, let's start with talking about global talent hubs because you have a large background in this. What differentiates Karnataka as a global talent hub for professional services?
Well, to talk about, and I have to say that Karnataka and especially Bangalore, right, has been an IT differentiator. And to be very honest, and talking about it, that if you could see, go back and see that earlier it was just like transactional, I would say, delivery centers. From there, what it has moved today, it's like today big organizations are building the GCC capabilities as well as the innovation hubs here. And how it has become possible, obviously because of the kind of talent ecosystems that you get here, right? And not only that, the strong academic as well as the infrastructure, I would say the startup infrastructure. So today, if you think about anybody, thinks about talking about that opening a startup, right? They don't have to think about anything else. You have everything available in parts of the, as part of the infrastructure. You have WeWork, stable space and all. You just need to go in, have the people and start that. Also, I think there is a global exposure here as well as, there's a strong mindset for the innovations. And I think these are the four pillars, I would say, that differentiates Karnataka from the rest of the other areas or rest of the other states. And that's where big organizations have come in and they have started their GCC as well as the innovation hubs from where big decisions are now being taken. And it's not only, the age-old transitional or transactional delivery centers which were only doing transactional works. Right now it is taking up more towards taking a more strategic decisions also in place.
Right, and I think you mentioned so perfectly how Karnataka has both the academic capability as well as a startup hub. So the ability to sort of hire from an existing talent pool also is amazing. Right? You don't have to look too far, everything is available.
And that's where I said, right, that the talent ecosystem here, whether it's the junior, whether it's the senior, it's amazing.
Right. So, and also I think adaptability also grows with time, right? So now we're talking about hybrid work today as opposed to earlier, a 9-to-5 constant job. What do you think a sustainable hybrid model would look like for a global delivery organization, especially?
Well, I find quite funny about this, and I would say to start with, when we talk about a sustainable hybrid work culture, and we go around and defining that, hey, these are the number of days that you need to come to office, that actually diminishes the very term when we say that it's actually the sustainable hybrid work culture. Now, when we started with this hybrid work culture post-COVID, right, there was a time, obviously people were debating whether to come to office, not come to office, and then few of the companies started saying that whether it's a 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, or even there are some companies which are saying that you have to come 5 days to office as well. So whether it's the hybrid work culture is a delulu or not, I'm not sure, but still, a sustainable hybrid work, I think for that to be in place, the first phase was obviously of preparing a policy for the hybrid work culture. Now that's done. Right? Most of the companies have passed that first phase. The second phase, I would say, and what I think is that it actually deals with a purpose, right? So if today, I don't know from where actually, and obviously the Gen Zs are entering the workplace, right? So they will be asking you questions that where from are you coming with a number like 2 days in a week that you have to come to office, or 3 days or 4 days or 5 days, right? So they need a clarity. So defining I would say a sustainable hybrid workplace requires first of all the clarity that why we need to come to office in the first place. What are the tasks that can be done in collaboration? And obviously when it comes to collaboration, you need to be there, the team has to be there, sitting together and doing the work. And what are the tasks that can be done asynchronously, right? So when you can make them clear about all these things and then say that obviously the teams who needs to collaborate more needs to come to office much more. And the teams who needs to work asynchronously, right, they can do it work from home. So, and then the numbers where it comes from. So when you map now for different people in an organization, you cannot make different policies, right? So to balance it out, that's how the companies are coming up with this 1, 2 or 3 or 4 as a number. And that's what is the clarity that you need to give out to all the people, that why you need to be here in the first. The second, I think, is the cultural perspective. Obviously, when you are hiring somebody new to the organization, right, it cannot happen that the person understands about the culture working somewhere remote. So you need to have that cultural perspective, or the person understand it, and that's why you need to have a hybrid workplace where sometimes you come to office and sometimes you work from home. Also, I would say that a lot of learnings and coaching, right, happens organically across the organizations through the leaders. Right. So when you sit with the leaders, you talk with them, you understand a lot of perspectives. So that's another point. I would say the third one, which is most important, to have I would say a sustainable hybrid workforce or sustainable hybrid work, is the outcome-based performance. So if you are doing a performance where it is like measuring the task or the activities and you're taking mark, that's not going to work in a hybrid workplace. So wherever you work, I'm comfortable with you working from your home, office, or even from Mars, right? If you are able to produce that outcome, what I'm looking for, and if you are able to do that, and I'm able to explain you are able to deliver that to me, that will help us to make a sustainable workforce. So I would say, in order to conclude this, I say that there are two things that goes hand in hand in order to make a sustainable hybrid work, which is the flexibility as well as the accountability. Flexibility is from the employer side, that I'm providing you the flexibility, and accountability is from the employee side, that I am accountable for the work.
For the work I do, yeah.
If these two things goes hand in hand and both the parties involved understand this, that will help in making a sustainable hybrid work.
You know, I love that you brought up leadership as your second point as well. So much of accountability also is on the leaders.
Yes.
In terms of, okay, fine, I trust you enough to let you work
To
from
let
wherever
you work,
you want.
yes, yeah.
It's such a trust-based thing. How do you build leadership pipelines across multiple geographies?
See, again, this is something I will actually give you an example of this, but leadership pipelines, or most of the organizations that I have seen or work, they try to do the leadership development at might be a certain level, which is the senior management level or the manager level. So the intervention comes at that point, right? But in order to build a proper leadership pipeline, you have to work much before. So which is, you start from the very junior people. And in my last organization where I have worked, and also in the current organizations, we have a very beautiful thing of, actually it's no proper development or a leadership classroom programs or learning and development, no, nothing like that. Those are small initiatives which are mostly in terms of the events, mainly based on some physical events, likewise some badminton or cricket and all, where what we do is that make the junior most employee the captain or the owner of the team, or let them drive the whole event, right? So it can happen that the CEO is a part of your team member, okay, but at that point of time the CEO is not the CEO. He or she is just a team member, and you are the captain. So you need to guide, coach, and deliver, and make your team win, right? So you have to deliver the strategies. And in this process, what we have found out is that there are a lot of people, and over the years, it is not like a 1 or 2 year thing. So over the years, we have seen that there are a lot of people who have done these things, have grown up to become really good leaders.
And really effective as well.
And it's very effective, yes. So I would say that started from very ground level, right? So that people, and these are the things today in many of the academics also, they are going ahead and doing. So why not in the organization, right? But nonetheless, afterwards, you need to have some kind of leadership development programs, modules, which are like, you have to do that. But do something else for the junior people so that you identify and you have a large talent pool in place where you have already identified who are the leaders, and then coach them, mentor them to go to the next level.
Yeah, I think that's That's a fantastic way of also growing within your organization instead
Yeah.
of, constant. How do you think AI really is reshaping consulting, Anashwari?
Well, it's not a new thing. AI is
It's no
everywhere,
longer
right?
it's a very normal thing.
It's a very normal thing now. And I think a long time I read something in my English book that water everywhere, not a drop to drink. So I feel like today, like AI everywhere, and we have to learn in order to live, right? So, and also like AI is in every sphere of our lives. The other day when I was traveling from that outer ring road, right, I saw an ad which was like that AI is in your mattress. So I was just thinking that what is AI doing in mattress? Is it going to?
Assuming other than memory foam, there's not much AI can do to a mattress, but okay, let's see.
I was also actually having the thought like whether I'm going to sleep and it is going to ping me and say, hey, your sleeping posture is wrong, right? So it's going to disturb my sleep. But yeah, nonetheless, AI is everywhere and all the organizations are adopting it. The very thing that AI is doing is that obviously, and in my current organization also, that what we are doing is that any repetitive task, right, any data-driven tasks and all, we are telling that automate, right? So when AI is automating that, obviously the next thing is that me as an employee, I will not be doing those repetitive tasks. So the expectation from me has now shifted to a different level. Now where AI will not be helpful is obviously on the contextual thinking, or might be in the relationship building, right? So mostly the client success, or even in a product development or service, the relationship building with the clients and all is very important. AI is not going to help there. Or even ethical decision making, right? AI never understands what is an ethical decision making. So they are where the human intervention comes into. And I would say human will only replace the humans, right? So it is something like human who knows AI.
How to use AI, exactly.
Right, will be replacing humans who doesn't know AI, right?
Perfect. It's like I was speaking to somebody else a little earlier, and she said a very interesting thing. She said, what AI does is it actually frees up more of your time. So whereas your processes are done by AI, the actual human relationships are still available. You still have time to create those, to build up relationships with the other employees, to speak to them, to know where they need to go. So while they leave, applications would still be answered by a bot. You will know why, because you actually spoken to the person. And that, I think, makes a massive difference. And this is also about putting people first, right, in an organization.
In an organization.
So when you're talking about a people-first culture, really, what anchors a people-first culture, especially in a high-growth environment?
Yeah, so see, most of the time when we think about the people-first culture, right, it is all about that whether it's an employee-friendly culture or not. Well, I do not debate that. Obviously, it has to be employee-friendly culture, but when I talk about that people-centric culture, I would say that it means more about that whether that workplace of mine is safe, right? And when I say safe, physical safety obviously is there, and I come from an IT background, so in IT there's a lot of physical safety and all. But when I talk about safety, it also means about whether there is a mental safety, whether I'm being harassed there, and harassment can be of many types, right? Whether I'm mentally stressed, and when I'm stressed, does my team manager supports me in that stage, right? Also, does the organization gives me ample opportunity to grow, learn, and me getting recognized and being valued. That is what a people-first culture is. And I would like to just, this is one example from my own personal life. So when I was like a very junior person, right, and why I'm giving this example is because that helped me understand that what people-centric culture organizations are actually. And there when I joined, I had one of my manager, and the first task that was given to me was to be actually presented to a leadership. Okay, so I was also called there in that session, but obviously I was not presenting it. My manager was presenting it, and there were thousands of questions being asked that why it is that, so and all. So, and everybody were questioning whether the data is correct. Everything, there were hundreds of questions. So my manager answered everything. At the back, he just pinged me and said, hey, confident, right? The data is correct. I said 100%, the data is correct, right? And then he went on. He answered all the questions. He did everything. Towards the end, everybody accepted. They applauded that it was a great work and everything. Once that was done right, my manager turns towards me and he said that, you know who has done this? It is her. Okay, so it's not something that I did it. I just delivered the speech here. It is she who needs the applaud, right? So that made me feel like that I can trust this person. And that for me is the very essence of what a people-centric culture is. So people-centric culture is all about, where trust is built, there is transparency, and there is a growth mindset.
Perfect. I think that's such a lovely story to leave us with. I wish all of us had such amazing stories.